Hello, 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 hello. Well, oh my goodness, happy Wednesday, everyone. Thanks for joining Brunch with Diva. Hello, Ashley. Hello, how are you? Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Hey, Penny, glad to see you. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh, guys, it's Christmas Eve. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Oh, it's been a tough year. Hey, Terry, how are you? It's been a tough year, but a good year. I tell you. Have you guys been Christmas shopping? Are you finished? Hey, Michelle, how are you? Thanks for joining. I am. Thank you, darling. Thank you so much. I zhuzhed it up a little bit today. Yeah, see, I have my Mary Grit shirt on today. It's a little big, y'all, but let me fix it so it won't look so big. Hey, Erin, thanks for joining. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Did you like that, Michelle? Well, guys, thank you so much for joining. I mean, this is like so crazy that we're here at Christmas Eve. But here we are, and it's just been it's just been a hectic couple of weeks for me. But I'm on vacation from school, so that's a good thing. So I am waiting on my hello Shannon. Thanks for joining. Oh, thank you, my little Grinch. I love the Grinch, y'all. I mean, it's just like one of my favorite characters for Christmas. Hey, Nikki, thanks for joining. So I mean, I love the Grinch. I'm not a Grinch, but I love the Grinch. So I'm gonna go ahead. Let's go ahead and bring on my guest today. I mean, you all know her, Tiana, Swag Slayer Fashions. So we're gonna sit here and we're gonna chat, and you just know how we do. There's no expectations here. I know, Terry. Don't you just love the Grinch? Oh my God! Thank you, Nikki, for watching my YouTube. Thank you so much. Hey. How are you? Hey, Leanne, thanks for joining. How are you today, darling?
I'm good. I'm on time. Most important part. So, woo,
This is a good thing. It's even a better thing when I was on time, which I try to be. I try to be. We both try to be,
yes,
but you know how that goes. Erin
the
says,
time
"Hi,
zones
Tiana."
throw me off every time. Hey, Aaron, those time zones. I'm like, where am I at? What time is that for
Oh
me?
my God. I mean, that was so hilarious to me when you said, I have to sit here because I'll forget. I'm like, what?
For 30 minutes, I must sit in the seat before it starts. Yes.
That is hilarious. I have just never heard of that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Or
God.
y'all put out an APB. Tell me is Tiana? She is not where she belongs if I don't see her.
Oh, well, I'm glad you were sitting there, girl, because we have to get this show on the road.
Yes.
Well, first things first, I always ask everyone, how did you come up with your name? How did you come up with Swag Slayer Fashion?
Yes. So I was trying to think of something that wasn't going to pigeonhole me into one type of category.
Hmm.
I was on Posh is where I came up with the name to sell on Poshmark, but I didn't want it to be like thrift or Posh because then I was like stuck with that. So I was like, okay, before 9 months ago, before life happened, I was dressed to the nines every time I hit the door. So I was like, okay, I could do that. I got my own little swag, my own little thing. So I just put, that swag slayer where no matter what, I'm just slaying it, whether it's in business, personal, fashion is all happening. So I was just swag slayer across the board. But then when I got on IG and found out about the IG family, swag slayer was taken. So I was like, dang it, I have to add something to it. But I didn't want to put numbers or underscore because I had learned from marketing that you don't want to do that. So it's easy for somebody to find you. So I was like, okay, I do resell. I don't have to put reselling, but if I put fashion, that at least leaves me open to other avenues of fashion. So I put Swag Slayer Fashion for all my social media.
Yeah, I love it, honey. Slay, honey, slay. Because that's what's up, honey. We all have to slay because today I'm slaying in my red lipstick. I zhuzhed it up for Christmas.
For the holiday.
So I had to zhuzh it up for Christmas a little bit, to go match my Grinch look.
I know.
But
I can't wait to see your after picture on IG, okay, of the whole look.
oh, I know. I am. Because I was just like, oh my God, it feels so, well, I love it because it feels so big on me. But
Pajamas. That's what I want my clothes to feel like. PJs.
right. Well, these are my PJs, actually, but don't tell nobody. But okay, so speaking of Christmas, I'm just going to be all about Christmas because you know what? It's so strange that here we are, Christmas Eve. So I find that through the midst of everything that we've been that we're still going through with the COVID and all of that, that here we are trying to be festive, trying to create some sense of normalcy around the holidays. And it's been tough. I'm not gonna even lie to you, it really has been tough. That's been like
Yep.
pulling teeth,
Yep.
for me. But what about you? How have you been kind of making it happen? Because you have a daughter, so of course you got to make it.
So we do. We have a daughter, and my husband's favorite holiday and her favorite holiday is Christmas. And to be honest, it is my least favorite holiday, not because I don't like the holiday, but because people are crazy during Christmas time. Traffic is crazy. People at the store snatching stuff out your hand because they want to buy it. And I'm like, what? So I try to stay out of public during this time, and we kind of shop online, and then we do our own thing at home, and we just spend time with my sister who doesn't live too far away because the rest of my family lives in Louisiana, so we're not able to
Right.
get together because of this.
Oh,
We would typically go right out. We would do something. So this year we didn't even put up decorations, and my husband was like, "Next year we have to put up decorations." So we are just gonna do some stuff at the house, watch movies, eat popcorn. We're tie-dyeing, which is a thing that we've never done for Christmas. But I was like, let's just do something different so we still feel festive. My 11-year-old still feels like, yay, and has something to tell her friends when she gets back. And by back, I mean virtual, the computer.
right, right, right. Okay, so I heard you mention popcorn.
Yes.
I need to know what the real meal is gonna be.
I don't know because my husband's the chef in the house, so he's going to surprise us.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I'm like, now y'all just can't be sitting over there eating popcorn all day. Well, you know what? I didn't decorate as much as I would have, because one, I just moved a
Yeah,
month or so ago, and I'm still trying to,
always.
get stuff together and find my inventory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I moved a year ago, and I'm still not fully unpacked, so it's okay.
Right. So I put up a little tree and have some little Christmas things here and there. But it's nothing like I have done in the past because I have a super huge tree that I couldn't even fit in my apartment.
We don't know what happened to our tree, so we didn't put it up. We have one, but
Well, I'll have to, I'm going to take a picture later and post it of my little cozy little tree. But it's just a little tabletop tree. I had it in my room last year. So my granddaughter was like, she was not feeling like hauling this big tree. She was like, I'm just, do we
I,
have to? But, I'm glad that, I mean, I at least had to put up something because
yeah,
I do love Christmas, put up little lights outside and, little things like that. But it's just really hard right now to try to be festive.
it is.
But, I'm doing the best I can. I don't have any little ones anymore. So Brianna actually was like, can we just have pizza?
And I don't blame her.
Yeah.
No problem. Nothing to clean up. I don't blame her.
I'm just like, no, we are not going to be having pizza, honey. Gigi is cooking lasagna
Nice, nice.
and stuff. So, I just think that we all have to, try to at least, have a good time or just enjoy the moment. That's what it is. Just enjoy the moment. Aaron said we're having ham for Christmas dinner, but pizza is tonight.
Nice.
Oh, I don't even know what we're having tonight, honey, but tomorrow we'll be having tamales.
My husband's cooking steak right now as we speak. I don't know what goes with the steak, but that's what we're gonna have tonight.
So, did he need my address for the FedEx?
I'll make sure DM.
So did you do a lot of shopping for Christmas?
I did, but it's a little different. So in my house, we each person gets one gift for Christmas because typically what we do is we get several Christmas angels and we go splurge on those people
Oh,
and give
yeah.
gifts. Because I feel like during the holiday, there's so many people who don't have, and the people get really depressed and get down. So I'm like, we have each other. We need for nothing. Let's just make it better for someone else. And so that's what we do. But this year, it was hard to kind of get an angel because
Uh-huh.
people when you go to church, you pull one off the tree. Well, we're not going to church, so like we were looking online and stuff, and you could do like a toy for a tot and like mail it, but it wasn't like the same as all the other years. So we just did a little bit of that. Like I said, each person will get one gift at my house like we always do because we splurge like crazy on birthdays. But then
Uh-huh. Okay.
what I did do that doesn't count as actual Christmas shopping, let me tell you that my business bought all kind of stuff. So that was like a splurge. A little different kind of splurge, but yes, my business cleared the bank out. I just want y'all to know. And all kind of fun gadgets around here nowadays.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. I'm anxiously awaiting a few things that my business as well
Yeah.
is going to produce. So I mean, Brianna, I mean, we really didn't do a lot of we didn't. We just decided, look, we'll just get whatever whenever.
Right.
It's just not that now it's not that it's a big deal, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So we just kind of like whatever, because you know me, I'm all about the gift card. Starbucks,
I know.
you
I know.
know, yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
I'm here
buying
for it.
for my
But
family
okay,
throughout the year that when Christmas comes, they got everything they wanted. All the rest of the years that when I say, well, what do you want? They've got nothing because they got it all already. So it's difficult. I kind of give cash too, and then they can go shopping in the new year,
yes.
January.
And that's always something good to really give kids once they get to be a certain age,
True.
because a lot of them, clothes or whatever, of course. But, Nikki was just saying some of the kids on the Angel Tree want the more expensive gifts like the PS5 and iPhones and all this kind of thing. You're like, oh, child, okay. And those things are sold out, the PS5.
I'm not mad at the Christmas angel children. I would be writing that stuff down too. Because you
Me too.
never know when Daddy Warbucks picks your Christmas angel. Okay? So
Right, right. And I mean, and I'm not mad because this is nothing new.
right.
When kids ask for game systems, because the Angel Tree kids have been asking for game systems ever since the beginning of the Angel Tree.
And
You
probably
know,
10% of them got one. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, because they always ask anyway if what do you want? They ask for a big ticket item and then of clothes, of course they throw in clothes and all that kind of stuff. But they always ask someone bikes, someone stations. And we're in a world where kids want technology right now.
Yep. Yep.
So it's just a madhouse. But it's not the same. I know because I used to go to the mall all the time, and they'd have a huge angel tree here, at the mall. And so, of course, since that's not really, I don't even know where you would go now these days.
Next door.
Um,
Some people on the Next Door app asked, I'm looking for a Christmas angel. Can you recommend somebody? And
oh,
so that's
okay.
how they were able to find one because they couldn't pick one off a tree. And I thought that was interesting because I didn't think about that until it popped up on my Nextdoor app. And I said, doggone it, I could do that. So,
Oh yeah. Well, that we have a yearly a yearly toy drive
mhm.
here, and so you get a chance to go drive through. This year, they used to let you get out and take pictures with everybody and all that, but this year, honey, you drive, stop, and drop. So they're not, they're trying to be as cautious as they can. So now let's talk about how many platforms you're on.
Okay, yes, let's do that. So I started off with Poshmark 2.5 years ago. A month after I started Poshmark, I started Macari. It didn't work out. But then I got List Perfectly. And so now I'm on a total of 8 platforms. Well, technically 7 because I'm having trouble with my Tradesy. So I still have not listed a new item on Tradesy. The items that were on Tradesy I took off because I sold somewhere else. But I'm having trouble getting my List Perfectly to activate my Tradesy correctly. But once that's fixed and they're working on it, It'll be a total of 8 platforms.
I cannot
Don't
imagine.
Rhonda.
I'm just like 8. I just
Yeah.
can't imagine. I don't know where I would fit in the time to monitor 8 platforms. But I push up to you, girl, because you got it, you're doing it, you're handling it. But while you're handling all 8 platforms, you're doing your YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What else are you doing? I mean, well, you pretty much have lived on YouTube these last few weeks.
I have.
And
With
so what
you.
else, I mean, do we have to look forward to coming from YouTube?
Well, right now, of course, I do the Swag Clear Feature Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Friday, no matter what, whether I feature somebody or not. If you want to be featured, head to swagclear.com and book your free feature. Then on Saturdays, I've been hanging out with you and Nikki at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But in 2021, I am hoping to do a more streamlined. And I was thinking about it last night, and I haven't confirmed because you and I have not talked, darling. But
Okay, darling.
I am hoping to do a Monday through Thursday every night for 1 hour and then the feature Friday. So we'll see if I can put that in play. That way, it's kind of like the news, I guess, where we
Oh,
bring
okay, I see where you're going with that. Yes. Oh,
daily.
nobody. Somebody's trying to call me. What is going on? Hold on.
Don't they know you online?
You know,
So then that way you get daily information and you get a little nugget here or there, because I know the information is not going to pertain to everyone, but at least one of the 4 episodes should have information to help you grow your business, help you make more money, help you balance your personal life and your health. That way you're balanced across the board, because so often we can become unbalanced, because I know people just hearing me say that I'm on 8 platforms, that sounds terrifying, but I'm all for a balance, and I'm not working more than 4 to 6 hours a day no matter what. So I want to be able to help give those tips to other people so they can balance their lives out as well.
well, child, it didn't make me nervous, honey. It just made me exhausted. Because like again, like I said, I just didn't know where I would find the time for that. But that's awesome that you are able to do that. And how do you just balance everything out?
I just make a schedule. I keep it simple. You know, the acronym KISS, keep it simple, silly, because the other word's a bad word. You just keep it simple. You put your schedule, you get up at that time, you do the work. When that time is over, you're done. It's just like if you went to your job, you're going to clock in and clock out. If you're not the boss and you're just an employee, you're not going to think about that job again once you clock out. And that's what I do. I clock in, I do my resale thing, I clock out. I'm not thinking about it again until tomorrow when I clock in again. And so you have to put yourself in that mindset, and you have to follow the schedule. Is the schedule always going to work like you want it to? No, you got kids running around, and they're gonna ask you and interrupt you and all kind of stuff, and your husband think you're his secretary even though you're not, and so you got to do all of that too, and then you just come back to it the next day and you keep going.
Ooh, child. And look, Leslie says, Tiana, I stay tired trying to keep up with you. Child, I know what you mean, honey. Because, look, I'm scared to pick up the video now. Tiana's
No.
calling. What is it? What she got? She got an idea. I love it, though. I love it because you know why? I'm going to tell you that you keep me, inspired, encouraged, and things like that. Because I'm just like, okay, now she said this, and see, she said, now she talked to me, because just like you had that long talk with me the other night, after our 24-hour of
About a live show and then talk for a whole hour
afterwards. But it was good, and it gave me a lot to think about. And see, that's what it's all about in the community. I think is this: you have people that you can talk to or who are looking out for you, and your business, because that's what you were doing for me. You were like, okay, now I'm going to ask you this again. Now, why? And, I just thought that was, I really felt good. That really made me feel good, because I thought, well, she's kind of looking out for a sister.
Look, God would not let me sleep. I was like, but God, I already asked her, and she said, no, please don't make me ask her again.
Well, and yes, and so the conversation that Tiana had, the question Tiana had asked me was, why is my YouTube channel not called the Pink Diva Studio? And for me, the reason it wasn't was making sense, but to her, it just didn't make any sense. And so the stuff I was saying, she got, but then she was still like, but still, why isn't it called? So now my YouTube channel is called the Pink Diva Studio.
Wow.
Where you can see all the brunch with divas and a little bit extra. But I appreciate it because I think that that's really what what we're all about and what we should do. I think that once we get to a certain point in this whole thing, is that you should, reach and help the next person to be open to, saying, well, I don't mean any harm, or don't want you to take it this way, but I think that people appreciate. I think some people appreciate that. Some people might take it like, "Oh, she all up in my business," but that's just not really what it is. It's just
before you can say something. Because if you don't have that relationship, someone could be like, "Well, why does she even care?" Because they don't already know you care about them and their business before you make a suggestion. And let's be real, we don't want to be billionaires by ourselves. If I'm gonna be a billionaire, I need Rhonda, Leslie, Nikki, Brittany. I need y'all to be there too, so we can be jet setting somewhere together. That's all I'm saying.
Right. And how Terry just going to say, thank you for helping Rhonda make that change. I was wondering myself. Terry, really? Why you didn't say something? Because you know what? Had Terry had turned around and said something, then I would have thought about it again. And I'm just like, oh my goodness.
And then you gave us because we were on a group chat. Something happened. So I think, yes, we were on a group chat the first time I asked you. So Terry was on that chat too. So she heard the same answer. So she probably was like,
okay, she made up her mind. We're going to leave it alone. She said, oh, okay. Well, I was probably just already like, well, this is why. Because I thought it was just so crazy. I just thought I was like, well, why wouldn't it be called that if it was da 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 da? But I get it now. So I'm here with it. I'm here with it. Because soon, hopefully, I'll be able to say that I'm the Pink Diva Studio across the board. Just kind of like, except for Poshmark, because they told me no.
Okay. We don't need, because isn't it like the Jurassic Park? But no one says that. They just say Jurassic Park. So.
Right. So Leslie says, what? When I make suggestions, I make them with love. I do that with people I know who will receive my suggestions and support. Definitely. And I think that's, I think that's awesome. I think that's the way it really should be. Oh, my comments just went all over the place. Okay, there they go. Okay. But okay, so now that we know that you set your schedule, you have your schedule, because I have one as well. But what is it that what is it that really keeps you, Tiana?
Wait a minute. Okay, sorry, because Christy just put, I guess I'm just watching from the airport. My bad, Christy. I couldn't name all 25 of us. Okay, Christy included in the jet setting, and everyone else too. My fault.
Wait a minute, that is hilarious. Christy said she was
at the airport, girl. Lord.
Oh my God. Now she just made me lose my complete train of thought. So we just gonna sit here till I think about it again. And
now that I'm on 8 platforms, something.
I know. Christy, thank you for making me lose my train of thought. I actually was going to say something about your schedule and how no, I got it. I'm back, y'all. Okay, so what I was going to say is what keeps you, not Swag Slayer you, but Tiana motivated?
Money. I'm simple. Money. Nothing else. Nothing more. It's all money. Is this going to make me more money? Is this going to make me enough money to retire in the future? Is there money somewhere in this sentence that equals more? That's it. I've always been that way.
Well, I hear you. I mean, I think that I've always been that way too, but just on a different level with it at one point. But now, I think that it has to be making me money.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
know what
if
they feel
I'm
like.
putting my time into it, it has to be making me money. I
Right.
want to be able to have, to have that passive income as well as, whatever Poshmark, well, that could be passive too. Wake up to some sales is amazing. I love that. But, a true something that I'm gonna, put my heart and soul into, whether like digital products,
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be, passive
That's
income. I
true.
want it.
Yeah, that's truly passive because you do it once and then it keeps making money for you. So any
Right.
type of digital creative thing that you come up with, that is passive. And even if you have to update it 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, an update is a lot easier than everyday grinding. Because Poshmark is more like an everyday grind than it's
Hmm.
really passive because you always have to keep up on it or your listings just go all the way to the floor and no one ever sees them.
Right, right. And I tell you that I've shared this before that I know I could tell the difference when I did not, and I was just really busy with school that things changed. And so I'm just like, So I ended up just changing my routine
Oh, yeah.
and focus on that and da da da, just constantly doing what I need to do, constantly just doing it. And then all of a sudden, spike, sale. And I was just like, see, this is what I know works for me,
Correct. Correct.
you know, and because everything don't work for everybody, we know that. But I know that Poshmark is so needy,
They
and you
are.
just have to keep, thirsty. You just got to keep feeding. Just got to keep feeding. So, and you know what? In return, they kick it back to you. They kick it back to you. And so, and that's all, so I just really have to, find that balance for myself where at one point I had it, but I was, I think I kind of overextended myself just a little bit,
That can happen.
so I'm having to make some changes, do a little revamping, and, just kind of do some things different.
Hmm.
And but I mean, besides money, because I think we all can be motivated by that.
Well, some people are not, which always surprises me. They're motivated by my secondary motivation. Yeah, I've been confused by this too, but my secondary motivation is helping people. So money
Yes.
first, helping people is next. The money, I would say, because I know if I make enough money, I can take care of my family. I can build and leave a legacy for my child. If I get the money, all those other things kind of come in place. But to be able to help somebody else make money, I enjoy that a lot too. But money is
Well,
still the root of that.
right.
Helping them make money.
So speaking of helping, let's
Mhm.
talk about your academy.
Yes. So I do the Swag Slayer Young Entrepreneurship classes. It's every semester, so fall, spring, and summer. So I teach young entrepreneurs one about money because even as adults, we don't understand money or how it works. So the sooner I can explain that to them and they get it, the better off they are using it as a tool instead of it controlling them. I show them ways that they can use their money and have it work for them because at the end of the day, your money is going to work harder for you than you will ever work for it. They need to understand the difference between assets and liabilities because even adults are confused. Most adults think a house is an asset, but at the end of the day, it's a liability because the definition of a liability is something you spend your money on, and an asset is something that makes money for you. Your house isn't being rented out, it is a liability. It is not making money for you. You're paying the mortgage, you're paying the repairs, no money's coming back to your pocket. So the sooner a student, a younger person, anyone, it could be an adult, but I teach children, the sooner they understand that, the better they understand the world around them. Because at the end of the day, they don't teach finance and money in school on purpose because they are training employees so they can pay them not what they're worth and they can stay in the 1% and keep the actual money. Somebody's
Mhm.
got to work at the job. And I'm not telling my students in my class not to go to work. I'm telling them if they go to someone's job, they need to work for the skills and things they're going to learn, not for the dollar bills being put in their bank account because they have enough dollar bills coming from somewhere else. Excuse me, that money from the company that they're making, it doesn't really matter. It's just extra because they're all their money's coming in a passive way from something they built as a child into adulthood that keeps making them money.
Exactly. And now, I have to agree, excuse me, I have to agree. There are just some things, like back in the day when I was in school, they wanted to teach us how to cook and clean and sew.
Yeah.
Okay, well now that's not saying that that's not a good thing to teach, but I can learn that at home.
Right.
I mean, I know my parents taught me how to do all those things. I watched them enough in the kitchen to learn how to cook.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I moved out on my own that I really had to cook for myself. I was still going home every day to eat, but but I think that in this day and time, that kids need to not only know about technology, but they need to know about life.
Yes. Agreed.
I mean, we need to know. I mean, I still now. This is my soapbox. Stepping on it. First of all, I think that you should have never stopped teaching kids how to cursive writing.
I agree.
Because how are you going to sign a document? How are you going to sign for a house? How are you going to sign for your car? You're just going to print everything out? You're going to get a stamp and stamp your name? You're going to put an X? I mean, what you going to do?
It's on purpose.
Yeah.
It's on purpose.
It's just crazy.
They want you to be an employee, which is just a follower. It's a modern day slave. Let's just call it what it is. So people can revolt and protest against that because they can read the original documents and see that they have rights. Well, how do I stop you from protesting against it? How do I keep you a docile worker? Let me not teach you how to write in cursive. Then you can't read the original documents that are in cursive. So then I can just type up something else and tell you, oh, well, you don't have that right. You don't have that. So it's just to keep you lower and lower and lower and lower because they feel like the more people become higher, then they're on a different playing field. Because if so many people have money down here and then a little bit of people have money here, then okay. But then if these people figure out how to make more money up here, look how much closer they are. They don't like that. They want to have that gap. And so how can I teach the masses to stay down? I can't truly educate them because they will figure out a way to come up. So it's our job to teach them how to come up. And so many of us as adults, because even me, I struggled. I didn't become, educated in finance until I became an adult. And at the end of the day, if it wasn't for Jesus and my husband who started reading and figuring out on his own, I wouldn't know what I know today. So somewhere along the way, this is what I tell my daughter. The world's greatest treasures are hidden in a book because they're counting on you to be lazy and not read it.
Exact. Oh, that is, you know what, girl, that's a message.
Yeah.
That's a message right there. And it's sad but true.
Yep.
Because reading definitely is fundamental.
Yes.
And I tell you, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. I'm using all the cliches because it all applies right now to what you just said. It's just crazy that, they do. They think that if you don't open that book, we're going to we're going to hide this in this book because, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to read it. That's why it's important to that's why it's important to read so you can find out information. Because I tell you, I've known about finance for a long time. Now, my daughter, on the other hand, she thinks I'm just not interested in that kind of stuff. No, it's not that I'm not interested in it. It's just that I don't want to talk about it all the time. But she keeps up with that kind of stuff. She's like, Mom, this, and Mom, this, and Mom, this. And sometimes, child, I'm like, okay. She just give me so much information at one time.
Yeah.
But, I think it's important for children to know about finance. I think that, you need to learn how to write a check. You need to learn how to balance your check. You need to learn, even though checks are almost obsolete, but still, some people still have checks.
They do.
I think that all of these things need to be taught in school, and it's okay, to have your book sense. You got to have that, but you need to have your financial sense as well.
Yep.
You need to know that sometimes you gotta squeeze a dollar and make it holler.
You do. And a lot of the world's population that's what we would consider wealthy, they don't even have a full education. I'm not telling kids not to get their education because I'm going to tell you, go and get it.
Oh, I'm all about that.
need to understand what they're teaching. You need to know your side and the other side. So you need to go through the whole process, understand what they taught you, but then go on the other side and learn the back end that they don't want you to know. Because if you don't know both sides, you're not going to be able to understand when they're trying to like coerce you into something. Look at how many predatory lenders are out there, how many predatory products are out there. And that's just because people don't understand money. They don't understand when someone is trying to lure them into a trap because they try to use these big words and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, if you know the root word of something, you can pretty much figure out the rest. You might not know the whole word, but you can figure out the rest. So it's basic fundamentals like that our students are learning on purpose. Like I said, the education system is set up to just crank out employees. So we want to make sure we're kind of teaching them that. And if you don't know that as a parent, it is okay. You can find it in a book. I would say Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, kind of gives you some basic information.
Yeah.
The Millionaire Next Door is a good book. Also, Grant Cardone, what is it called? Sell or Be Sold. It's a seller's book, but it gives you information on how someone is thinking. Because at the end of the day, our state, world, government, whatever you want to call it, they're trying to sell us, who they're trying to make employees, something. And we're trying to sell something else. So you're going to sell or you're going to be sold. Those are the only options you have. So if you're not selling, you're being sold. So like our regular everyday life, when we make decisions, you're either selling or you're being sold. So just start with those fundamental books because they don't get too much into the terminology, but they give you an idea to open your mind to better understand what's happening and other things. So then you can delve into more financial information, understand how the numbers work, why some credit terms are this and credit terms are that. It sounds daunting, but I promise you, once you start to read and start to look, it will become second nature and it'll make more sense. They tried to make it seem hard. Like I was going to be a lawyer when I grew up. That was my goal. Then life changed a little bit. But I studied my bachelor's degrees in legal studies. They use Latin terms and stuff because they just want to throw you off. They want you to pay for them to do it. But at the end of the day, it's not that difficult. You might have to take a little more time to look up a word, but it's not as difficult as they try to make it seem. They just try to keep you out of the gate because less people in the gate, they get more room, more money.
Yeah. And let me just go back to this comment right here. Ethical Fashion Closet. Hey girl, hey. She says, as an educator, I promise you that there are many, many teachers who really do care and want their students oh Lord, I can't even read, creatively thinking. Yes, and I believe that. I do believe that, because there are a slew, there's good and bad. Some teachers feel like I got mine, you get yours. Others are, pretty much going to be in your face one-on-one. You need help, you need this, you need that, or whatever the case may be. Brittany says there's people that have 5 degrees. There are people with no degrees that can run in circles around. Life experience and self-education is key. This is so true. Now, I tell you that I was getting my degree because my thing is psychology. So, it goes in conjunction with actually what I do, already with the coaching. So, I mean, I just wanted to, be in that right space to be able to offer the right thing to the right people. So that's what I'm all about. But you know what? You don't need all of that to make it. You do not need all of that to make it happen. There's no sense in you getting in debt behind a degree if you're not going to do anything with it. And there are a lot of people out here who have degrees that aren't doing what they want to do.
And I don't use mine.
And that's a lot of that has to do with the fact that maybe you have a degree and you wanted to do this, but now you're not doing that, you're doing this, when you should have maybe started a business behind that degree and used it. I'm just saying.
Or maybe just started a business first. And that's also why I encourage the kids in the class to start a business now, because as a child, you're going to grow, mold, change your mind. So as a child, if you start this small business and it doesn't work out, you can try this small business and it, like, you get to try different things and better understand who you are as a person, what you like and what you don't like. So then kind of when you get to the school, you're like, okay, I know I like to do this. I may not know exactly what I'm gonna do with it, but it's in a realm of something I enjoy, and it brings a service, or product to the market that is helpful. So the sooner they get their hands, it's like playing with Play-Doh. You don't know what to do with it when you first get it. Then you realize
Right.
you can mold it into something.
Right. Exactly. You're exactly right. Leslie says I don't have a full education. I learned the back end in the school of called life. I know that's right. But I think that um, had I learned a lot of things when I was in school,
Mm-hmm.
things probably would have been. I probably would have been a little bit a different person.
Of
But
course.
I'm just gonna tell you, I was the only child, honey. I was spoiled. I was raised a certain way to think a certain way. And that's just how my dad treated all of us. I mean, my dad, especially after I had my daughter, and he was on his way to doing the same thing with my granddaughter. I mean,
Yeah.
he was just that type of guy. But while I love and appreciate all that, it didn't make me appreciate other things. I just felt like things were expected. It's me, give it to me.
Yeah.
My daughter will say now, Mom, you just spoiled. Well, okay. So I just think that while I appreciate my beginnings, how my parents raised me and things like that, I feel like I wasn't prepared for a lot of things. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I learned a lot of things, just being out in the straight.
Yeah.
But I just think that had I learned some of this stuff in school, finances, things like that, I probably wouldn't have back in the day got myself in debt, which I got out of that debt, or had it written off or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But this time around, after my marriage ended, then I had here I go with debt again. But this brings me just back around to having a business. Here I go. I started on Poshmark. Poshmark, helped me pay off that debt,
Yes.
and again get my credit back in good standing. And I was just like, well, thank goodness for that. But here you go. Here's a business, my own business, paying off debt, paying off debt, Nikki. And trying to just maintain that business. But I always go back and try to encourage my daughter,
Yeah.
to do something, encourage my granddaughter, look, I am 60. You can do
Yeah.
it. There is no
And
age limit on
no, none.
uplifting yourself. There's no age limit on turning things around and heading in the right direction. I mean, it's out there. You just have to get it.
And I agree. And it really is no age. I mean, my daughter, like, if she was mind blown that she could be an author at 11. She was like, I can write a book. And I was like, yes,
Yes, girl, write that book.
get the book written. I'll get it copyrighted. We'll get it illustrated. We'll put it on Amazon. Not a problem. You just got to write it. And she did not
Yeah.
understand. She was like, but I thought, no, don't let them lie to you. If you can do it, it doesn't matter what your age is, you can get it done. And then another thing that I find interesting is a lot of people who own like practices, like there are people who own law firms or doctors' offices, and they employ, doctors or lawyers, and they're not doctors or lawyers themselves. They barely got a high school diploma, but they own the practice and they stroke the check to pay them. So like you don't have to have the degree. I encourage my babies to get the degree because it's so much simpler. Like you've probably heard me say before, by their junior year, they could start their college classes. So when they graduate high
Yeah.
school, 11th and 12th grade, they'll have their associate's degree, or they can have an
Right.
AA, whichever one they choose. But then the next 2 years is their bachelor's and they're done. So say, for instance, your child finishes at 18 high school, right? So 19, 20, they're done with the bachelor's degree. They want to get their master's, 21, 22. Most of all the other kids, if they don't get behind, fail, get hooked to alcohol, get pregnant, they won't be finishing their bachelor's until 22. Your child will be finishing their master's at 22. And even if they fall into some snare of crazy, I made bad decisions growing up, they're still ahead of the game so they can
Mm-hmm.
still get it done and be finished. Because the sooner you finish it and check it off the list, the sooner you can go out and then start doing things with life. You know how we went through young adulthood and we we're figuring everything out in our 20s? Just get it done and get it out of the way. Because there are some jobs you're going to want to get and learn the skills, and they're not going to allow you to get it because you don't have the degree. Think about Enterprise Rent a Car. Most of us have heard that company. We probably rented a car with them.
Mm-hmm.
Those people who stand at that desk and watch you sign your contract, wash and vacuum the cars, all have bachelor's degrees. You cannot work there without one.
Shut up, Chad.
To rent a car. Yeah.
This is news you could use. I had no idea about that. That they that's how their qualifications work.
Yeah. So when you're doing customer service at the desk and people come in there and treat you like trash because they think you just some little cashier or whatever, you hold a whole bachelor's degree. But think about it, they also pay more than the average job. They pay entry level, depending on your state, they pay a decent entry level. You typically get a raise every year, and then you can move up into management if you so choose. But you would never think like you're washing cars out in the heat. Like, who needs a bachelor's for that? You think it's just any Joe Blow off the street, and it's not. So I encourage the kids in my class, yes, get that education, because you don't want that piece of paper to be the reason the door you want to go through is closed. So if you can get it now, you gotta go to school anyway. You can't not go. You know, the truant agent will be at your house. Yeah, might as well get as much as you can while you're there. Get it over with and get out, and then go live your life however you choose to. But at least it's always something to fall back on. And if for some
Right.
reason you don't get it, always know you can get a skill, a trade, you can open a business, or the business you already
Now
opened
that
when you're a kid.
now
Just
that's true right there because I have been I try to encourage other people to there are plenty of prestigious, darling, colleges that offer free class, free certification. A lot of it doesn't even cost a lot of money. Sometimes you can get, something for $60.
Yep.
Sometimes it's free. I mean, it's free. It can most of them are free, but if you just need the certificate, you're just paying for the certificate. But you can go and be certified in something because it's out there for you. Just got to go get it.
It is. It is.
I think that you should have a skill or a trade. I agree with Nikki was saying that. Aaron, I think that you should know something about something.
Yeah. And a
And
good
this
one.
and it's hard sometimes for people to figure out what it is they want to do.
It
It
is.
really is. But in the meantime, browse on that website, see what might, spark your interest. Maybe you want to learn a new language. Maybe you want to get certified in doing billing and coding. Maybe you want to get, look for things that are going to last. Because what's going to last, I tell you, hospitals will always need somebody.
Yes, they will. They will. And
You
sign
know,
language. Because think about it, during all the newscasts, during all the crazy of these last months, who
right.
was up there getting paid going, I was like, stop. So that's a universal language. It's American Sign Language. I don't know sign language. I should know sign language.
Okay.
But how hard is it for your foreign language in school if your school offers it to select sign language? And then when you go to college, continue sign language. There are some places, some states that have a sign language school. So if you're not in school, you're not in high school, you're older, you can just go there and learn sign language, because churches need that, because our church has that. They have to sign to the group. The newscasters need that. Like, there's always a place for you to do sign language. You can go with a student to school who need you to do the sign language for them, and you just hang out with them all day in case they need something. Another really good thing to get, you only have to be 18 years old, is an insurance license. I always suggest the 215 to start there, because there's like a 220 and a 2 something else, and if you put them together, there are 215, but you have to keep up with the continuing education. So if you do a 215 license, 18 years old, you can work as an insurance agent. You don't have to work as a 1099 sales agent, which I would encourage everyone to encourage their students to at some point do a sales job where they get paid based on their performance, because they may not be good at it. They probably will hate it. Only a few people love it. I loved it. But the skills that they learn from
Mm-hmm.
doing it, putting themselves in front of people, having to memorize the script, having to put themselves out there for a no, those skills go with them for a lifetime. So even if you just push your child to do some sort of commission-based sales for a summer, a year, whatever, the skills that build in them is you can't really get that anywhere else. But back to the point, you don't have to be a commissioned agent as a 215. You can work in a call center. So like right now with everything going on, all those agents are just working from home. The company sent them the computers and the headsets and they just work from home. Typically they get paid, depending on your state, of course, anywhere between $16 to $25 an hour. If there's a company offering you less than 16, I don't care what state you're in, and you have an insurance license, find the next company because somebody pays 16 or more. Some pay a little bit more than that, depending on your state, like California and stuff, they'll pay more, but you only have to be 18 years old. I would suggest that you have a high school diploma because some companies require a high school diploma, but you don't need a high school diploma to have a 215 insurance license. And it's about $400-ish. It might be a little bit less, but that includes your background check, your fingerprints, the course that you're going to study for. I would suggest Excel. Let me see if I can spell it right. I believe it's XCEL because Excel is, it's not the regular Excel.
Right,
so it's
right.
L. They have all the courses, and the crazy part is I took my class because I have an insurance license. That's what I'm saying. I took my class with them. I studied, I did the class, I did the practice exam, and then when I went to the testing center, when I got to the testing center, Rhonda, the questions were exactly the same. Like it was the exact same question, and the multiple choice answers were in the exact same order. I was like, am I cheating? Something is wrong. But it was exactly the same. The numbers were only different. That was the only different part. So I aced that bad boy like, what?
I know that's right, girl. I know that's right. I just think that, there's the opportunities are there. And, sometimes we just tend to ignore very different opportunities. We feel like, oh, I don't have time, or I'm too old for this, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. But the opportunities are, a lot of times opportunities present themselves every day.
Yes.
Doors are open, we just got to walk through it. And I think that the information, oh my God, this information has been amazing that you laid out here today, honey.
On this topic, but yes.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter because, that's how we roll. We completely forgot about Christmas, but it's okay because you know what? This is so much more important because this can help the next person to help the next person. And as always, you never know who's receiving this. So, hopefully this information that you've given us will, help me to help someone else, or whoever's listening, whoever, listens to this will be able to, reach out and be like, oh, let me see what she said. Go back, let me see. But I tell you guys, it's there for you. You just got to get it. You just got to get it. But speaking of, I want to rewind back to when we were talking about digital products.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask, what is your, where you dropping yours? Yeah, I'll put you out there, put you on the spot. Yep, sure did it.
Don't put me on the spot like I put Christy on the spot the other night. Okay.
What goes around comes around.
Right, you reap what you sow. So what had happened was the plan is
now, I don't know if you want to say what it's about or give us a little inside tip or anything like that, but I am looking forward to it, so come on with it.
But there are two books, one for adults and then one for children. I started the children's book and I love writing it. It's funny. It cracks me up. I hope when I'm finished, it'll crack y'all up. It's the adult book I'm having trouble putting together. So that's the one I really want to finish next quarter. I just want to sit down, knock it out, because I know, just like this, I give so much information and people are probably like, oh my God, what did she say? Let me write it down. Let me rewind. And I'm like, okay, I need to just cohesively put it together in a format that somebody can get it. They can look at it. They can highlight it. They can look it up. They can take their own notes. So I just really need to sit down and do it. So I hope the goal is, I'm scared to say it out loud because then y'all gonna hold me to it, to be finished by quarter one, the end of quarter one, and then I have it to purchase by the beginning of Q2.
Great, great. So I'll be looking forward to this in January-ish.
No, because Q1.
February-ish.
No, I should finish in March.
March-ish.
Available for sale in April. That's what.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sale in
I
March.
just needed a month. I mean, no pressure. Nope, it's Leslie, no pressure. In my Leslie Reseller Passions voice.
Right.
But thank you, Erin. Accountability. It's all about accountability. But but I tell you that I understand. I get it. I get it because I'm working on my book right now. So at this point, all I have done is the cover and a name. So, but it's coming. It's coming. I'm not setting myself up with no with a month, but it's coming. I'm just gonna say that. But I'm looking forward to seeing it. And like I tell you, you just got to take out time, write an hour a day, or take a weekend, close yourself off.
Yeah, I agree. I just think you do it.
Because I tell you, I don't know how long and all that, but an ebook, you can knock it out over a weekend.
That's what I'm hoping. And I think too, it's a fear. Let's be honest. I'm afraid that what I put down and get it together isn't going to, one, stand up to my own expectation, and then two, stand up to y'all's expectation, the readers who are going to buy it. Because I bought some books and I thought, well, this is what I was expecting. And of course, I didn't communicate that to the person I bought it from, but I mean, I was disappointed in what I got. And I just don't want anyone to feel like that when they get my book. I mean, I'm putting my blood, sweat, and tears into it, but they're also putting their hard-earned money to buy it. So I just want it to be a copacetic relationship. Does that make sense?
Well, but I'm gonna say this to that, is that while we are passionate about our products, while we are passionate about everything, everyone is not going to share that same passion as we do, and we can't expect them to. Nobody's going to have the passion that we have for our products. So you can't even, you got to throw that out the window. All you need to do is sit down, put your whatever it is, your heart and soul into this, as I did with my workbook, put the heart and soul into it. And as I'm doing with this book, this is really, for me, this is as transparent as I can be in this book. So, we can't go and think, well, somebody's not going to like this or something, because truth be known, be told, people, you're going to have those that love it. You're going to have those that hate it. You're going to have those that be like, oh yeah, go get this book. Go get this book. And you're going to have someone like, it's all right, child, I guess, so you're just going to have that, but you cannot let that keep you from putting it down. So put it down. You're doing it exactly, Terry. Just do it for yourself. And that's what that is. It's going to be received by those who are supportive, by people you don't even know.
Yeah.
So you can't worry about us. We got you. We got you. So you cannot worry about that. You just go ahead and lay out the facts, ma'am.
I will do that. Thank you.
Okay. You don't have to worry about it. We got you over here on this end. And like I said, there are other people out there that will be that don't even know you, us, Instagram, nothing. These are the people that you want to reach.
It is. It really is. I want them to be able to do what I do and have more time, spend time with their family, be able to travel when things open. I want them to have the extra money for that and not be worried about, well, what if they fire me from this job? Oh, okay, well, I have income coming in. I have enough time to find another job if that's what I choose to do. So I want to be able to get that information into the hands of people looking for it. And I thank you for those words, Rhonda, because, I'm human too. Like, sometimes I freak out.
So, honey, I tell you, you just put it out there, and Leslie just said, you build it, they'll come. We can't just hold our stuff back. I mean, because I've held on to this book since my weight loss surgery, just like this workbook. It's just been something I've always wanted to do. My book has been something. It's been 5 different names. I've done 50,000 different covers.
Yes.
Now it wasn't time for it, but now it's time. I got the cover, got the name. Now I just need to get those words on that paper.
Because I have the name. My husband actually helped me come up with the name, and I just need to write it because this is like the fifth book that I thought of that I need to write, and the other four I never wrote. I never ever did. I was just too scared to even put the pencil to the page, and I just said forget it, and I let those books die. And I'm not gonna let that happen with this book. So
No, because you know why? Because you know that this is a book that's really needed, and the time is now.
Yes.
So see, you feel it in here in your spirit.
Yes.
And sometimes when you feel things in your spirit, it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can have all that all up in here going on,
right?
But when we feel it in here, I'm gonna tell you, girl, that's when that the fire is hot.
I have a question 100 years ago that I just want to answer. We were talking about the schedule. She asked, "Do I block schedule?" Not 100% sure what that means because to everybody it means something different. But what I do is like I list for this hour, I photograph for this hour. So if that's what you mean by blocking, I photograph everything and then I list it on a different day. So I don't photograph.
I did remember seeing that, and I think that Trish, the Trish Van 99 uses a particular app, and she, sets her things up, her schedule according to that. She blocks out time for this. She breaks for lunch, and then I know that that's one of the things that you could use in scheduling. I'm revamping my whole entire thing because I had to, because it was just getting crazy. But I think that it's good to have a somewhat schedule, because having for Tiana, I think I'm losing Tiana.
Uh-oh, I can see and hear you. Can y'all see it?
Everywhere they can find you.
So I can be found on all the selling platforms, Tracy, Depop, Poshmark, Macari under Swag Slayer. And then on social media, it's Swag Slayer Fashion on Instagram and YouTube.
Yay. So if you're not following her, please do so. I will be dropping this video on YouTube later today because I'm all caught up with my other videos. And so I will be dropping this video on my YouTube channel, The Pink Diva Studio. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. And it is cutting out, Erin. That's why I was telling her. It looks kind of weird on my end too. But stay tuned, actually. And I'll be coming back later today. I'll be going live later today and making a little announcement. So you guys kind of stay tuned. It's not on our group schedule, but I'm just gonna squeeze it in a little bit later. I'm just gonna squeeze it in a little bit later today. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking your time out to join Brunch with Diva. And thank you, Tiana, for taking time out of your day. I appreciate it. And I'll be talking to you guys soon.